Ladies and gentlemen, let us stand and raise our glasses to our fine scholar, teacher, and great valued friend, Terry Smart.
Terry, thank you.
Thank you.
Cheers.
If anyone else would like to say something, now is the time to do it.
Please. I do not know where he possibly unearthed all this, and I hope I will never know which of you is responsible for it. But thank you all for being here. This is certainly a classy way for a guy to retire. The usual at Trinity is to put a table out in the hall and have the food service people bring in a terrible tasting punch plus a few dried out cookies. And people come by to say, oh, have a good retirement. But that, as the French would say, was déclassé. This is just the opposite. Thank you all. And of course, the fact that my family all flew in, I'm still a little speechless for that. And I have had many great years at Trinity. I got here, I suppose because of fate, because my first career was going to be in the Army, until they said you can't be promoted unless you go through jungle training where you live in the jungle for a week and eat snake. This is true.
This is true.
So then I decided the business world sounded much better until, as Alan pointed out, my father was forced to fire me because I had a Democratic bumper sticker and I was part of management, and management supported Republicans. Then I thought, well, teaching high school is great. Until the year came when they put out the salary schedule, and I realized that if I taught high school 20 years, I would be making the maximum salary, which was exactly the same salary I had made when my father fired me. So I decided maybe college teaching is much better. So we went to graduate school. I took 3 kids, and Bridget, I had to give her credit. Had I gone through that. Oh, you 3 kids. Anyway. Those were the glory days, because most of you don't know that there was a time when, for one PhD, like I was, there was 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 jobs. So I had a lot of good job offers, and I took one in California because we were ready to make all you kids surfers.
Jose.
However, they did elect a new governor that year named Ronald Reagan, and he froze the hiring. So there I was, all the jobs I thought had been taken. I didn't know what we were going to do. And then I saw it in the Chronicle. There was an advertisement from Trinity University which said, we want someone to teach Chinese history who might be able to teach Russian. And I wrote him a frantic letter saying, my specialty is Russian. China is my minor. Would you consider me? And here I am.
Here, here.
Thank you all very much for being here. This is very lovely of all of you. I appreciate it very much.
It's not over yet. A couple of short stories and then a brief presentation. Terry was chair when I was hired in 1992. John as well, when he came to Trinity.
One of the best moves we ever made.
Thank you very, very much. And when he drove me to the airport, and we got in the car, and he said, you know, after the interviews, you know, the 3 candidates come and you give your interviews, you teach a class, and he said, you know, Dave, I just want you to know that you did a great job and you did the best you could possibly do. And my first thought was, well, I didn't get the job. That's why, this is why he's telling me this. You know. But then, you know, I thought about it later that night, and it made me feel really great that you said that. And I have said that exact same thing when I became chair. I said it to you in your exit interview when I drove you to the airport, and to Nicole, and to Aaron, and to Ken, you know, and the new generation that has come in. And so it was wonderful advice that I took, and it certainly wasn't the last time You gave advice to me, and I took that advice. The second story, which we've talked about over the years, I was teaching my senior seminar, U.S. Foreign Policy toward the Middle East, and I think that day I was very serious subject, U.S. policy during the 1973 Arab-Israeli War. And it was in our seminar room, which is your office these days, and it was a table just like this, students around it. I was at the head of the table, and it was one of those days, back at that time, Trinity's schedule was a little off with the regular school schedules. And my son, who was 2 years old at the time, Michael, for some reason, and you've gone through this, and we'll go through it, he was with me that day. I was stuck with him. I had nowhere to put him. And so he came to class, and he was walking while we were discussing. He was walking on the table back and forth. And we were talking about the war. And there was a window in the door. Terry was leaving that day, and he walks past, looks in, and my first thought was, oh my God, the chairs, it was my first semester there, and I have my kid walking down, up and down, and he walks, and then he walks back like this. He looks, and then he starts just laughing. And in that moment, I felt I was home. I was welcome, I was home, and you knew what it was all about. And those are two of the things that all of us, and me personally, we're going to miss. Your advice, your camaraderie, and I just want to thank you personally for all that you've meant to me. First, for hiring me, that's a big thing. And two, for all of your advice and help, and most importantly, your friendship. And I also want to thank Bridget for your support to Terry and support to the department over the years. You are marvelous, you are wonderful, and I'm so... I mean, it's not even hiring me anymore. But all of us wish you the best in this wonderful new chapter on which you're about to embark, and may you have all of the joys in life that you've already had in many more. And as a very, very small token of our appreciation, this is a plaque we had made, and it says, for all of you that read it, from a grateful faculty and student body to Dr. Terry Smart for his many years of service to Trinity University and his leadership and mentorship in the Department of History. And that's the Trinity Logan up top, if you will.
I think I'll take down the two pictures of Bridget's parents and put this in the Thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
What a lovely evening.
And now we have dessert, right? Dessert. I don't know where
We have dessert.
we have dessert. It's over there.